Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I really wish moments like these could last forever because it gave me the honor of meeting each and every one of you, talking about Descendants and Zombies and sharing in our passion. If I could stop time and we're in possession of a pocket watch, I think I would stop time just to fall in love with Descendants all over again, because this has become the greatest honor of my life and the most fun that I've had in my entire existence. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown these videos, this YouTube channel. It blows my mind the love and support you guys have shown this YouTube channel and every video that I've uploaded since last year. It's been an incredible journey that we've been on. We've discovered ourselves. We've found our place in the world because of Descendants and Zombies, because of our favorite characters, our favorite moments we have shared in each other's passions. Thank you guys so much. Happy Halloween to everybody, by the way. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. I hope that you get lots of treats tonight. I'm expecting my house to be TP'd and egged within a couple of hours. I'll keep you updated on that. So you're going to want to keep watching for videos to drop on this YouTube channel all throughout today. A bunch of Descendants and Zombies videos are coming your way. And I love Halloween. I really do. I love how Descendants characters have really fit very appropriately into the seasons, like Halloween and Christmas and New Year's. I love the marathons of Descendants and Zombies movies every year, and I take full advantage of it. I know that they had Descendants Takeover, I think just last year, when they showed all the Descendants movies and all the Descendants specials all combined into one, and I loved it so much. And I also love how Freya Sky is going on tour now, which is going to give her more exposure. This is exactly what I want to see happen for Freya Sky. I think that the more people get behind her and show her love and support, undeniably she is going to go on to become one of the greatest of all time. And I, for one, am incredibly excited about her future and to be talking about it with each and every one of you, because you look at her music videos for Can't Fake It and Gold's Gone. They are beautiful music videos, beautifully collaborated. The Worlds Collide Tour version of that was beautifully collaborated for Vivo. I think she's just a beautiful girl, and she's undeniably gorgeous. There's no denial coming from me about that. And I think that forever and always I'll be in love with Freya Sky. I'll be supporting her just like each and every one of you, because you guys know who and what you love, and you forever and always supported Descendants and Zombies. So because Descendants and Zombies is a trend, let me rephrase that. Descendants and Zombies is a global phenomenon that doesn't have to die, that should last for forever. You know, there are these moments that you just wish could last for forever, and I really wish that Descendants and Zombies could last forever and would last forever. And when you really think about it, Descendants and Zombies has a chance of lasting for forever, because you can always introduce new cast members. You can have a new story for every Descendants chapter. I think that we don't have to close the book on Descendants. I think a lot of the critics would prefer to close the book on Descendants and Zombies, wishing it would go away for forever. But this story is far from over, and it doesn't have to be over, because there are so many people who believe in these franchises so much. It's really become a way of life. It's Descendants and Zombies or die if you haven't figured it out. And I love Descendants and Zombies so much that I moved into a house near a soda plantation and a chemical plant because I wanted to feel what it was like to really live your life out being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And what better way to do that than live in a house near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment? You see, I really do believe that fairy tales have a chance at existing. Happily ever after can happen for anybody, and one can find true love. And I really do believe that to be more apparent than ever before, especially because of the zombie script and everything we've heard about Zed and Addison. We saw everything we've seen and heard about Victor and Nova and what we have yet to witness, because we don't know what's inside of that vortex. Anything could be coming out of that vortex. It's just necessarily mermaids in the conversation. Pirates and witches and sirens have also been suggested. I go for pirates because I think a Captain Jack Sparrow kind of theme, Pirates of the Caribbean kind of theme, is exactly what Zombies needs to bring it to life. And I think more unpredictable moments would definitely come into the franchise at the expense of mermaids, because there are so many wonderful fairy tales that I've heard, legendary tales associated with this island, having everything to do with mermaids. I remember reading a book years ago called Amanda Greenleaf about the adventures of a mermaid at sea. And she found true love, but she also had to make a lot of sacrifices to, keep that love in her life. I remember reading all the versions of The Little Mermaid, so I had a greater appreciation for stories having everything to do with mermaids, and I've often wanted to encounter a mermaid. I can't say on all my boating excursions that I've ever encountered a mermaid. I've seen whales, I've seen all kinds of creatures at sea, but I have never encountered a mermaid, and I would love the opportunity to. And I really did love the story of The Little Mermaid and how Ariel's story, captivated millions of people. So I think that there's always a greater appreciation and a lot of unpredictable things that can happen with mermaid stories. And I think that living on an island all of my lifetime with a lot of stories having to do with ghost ships and people going missing all the time, I think the zombie story fits perfectly with everybody's heart and will forever and always hold a special place in everybody's heart. If you believe in Descendants of Zombies enough, which I know you do, I think that you can, shut out every critic who's ever, expressed a desire to want to have this fade off into obscurity. I think that Descendants of Zombies fans are incredibly supportive of who and what they love, and their love is really unconditional. So because your love is unconditional, you guys deserve to be honored, and you guys deserve to be talked about, but be talked about in the right ways. I think that you guys have deserved far better reviews of your favorite characters, Red, Chloe, Bridget, Mal, Evie, Zed, Addison, Victor, and Nova. I think that no matter who you're talking about, I think we should talk about them with prestige and honor, because they still have a long way to go, but even with how they still have a long way to go, that doesn't mean that they can't get there. Because Freya Sky has seen an incredible amount of love and support in whatever she does. Just recently at the Halloween Fest, she dressed up as Tinkerbell, and you guys loved her costume. You guys love everything about Freya Sky, and I can see why. You love everything about Freya Sky, because she's so passionate about everything that she does, and she's so dedicated. I think she's beyond dedicated. I think that Meg Donnelly's praise that she gives to Freya Sky is to be commended for, because they're so supportive of each other. Not only is Meg Donnelly supportive of Freya Sky, Freya too, likewise, is supportive of Meg Donnelly. Their friendship is something I noticed off the set of Zombies. The friendships that we saw from both Descendants and Zombies were truly remarkable, dating all the way back to Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, who I'm incredibly proud of, because Dove Cameron announced her engagement to Damiano David just yesterday, and it's all over social. So I just want to say congratulations to Dove Cameron again, and I will have more information on this when it becomes available, because information about this right now is very scarce. I know that there have been a lot of graphics popping on my social feeds, but I really don't know a whole lot to comment on it, but I really love seeing these Descendant stars have fun. I say this because they deserve to have fun. They don't deserve to be criticized, and I know that Dove Cameron saw her fair share of criticism. Kylie Cantrell is getting a lot of backlash for how she feels, expressing her opinion. I've always believed that Kylie Cantrell had a voice, and she should have full authority to use that voice and shouldn't feel scared to say how she feels. I think just because she has an opinion, people are choosing to criticize her because they can't find anything else to criticize, because her music is great, her style is absolutely fabulous. So because Kylie Cantrell has everything going on for her right now, we're just finding things to criticize about her relationship, her political point of view, how she's never been a Donald Trump supporter. I have never been a Donald Trump supporter. You have probably perhaps never been a Donald Trump supporter, and you don't care about Donald Trump. I don't really care if Kylie Cantrell is a Donald Trump supporter or not. I love Kylie Cantrell for the person that she is, and that's why I'm so proud to sit behind this microphone every day and talk about Kylie Cantrell, because she deserves to be in the position she's in. She has been more deserving of being the character Red, and ever since donning it, she's brought this character to life and come off as such a huge inspiration. So I have no issues with Kylie Cantrell. I can talk about Kylie Cantrell for the rest of my life. I love Ruby Rose Turner. I love the entire Descendants franchise for its story, its powerful message of acceptance, and how one can find acceptance in a world that is sometimes very difficult to achieve it. I think that the more that we encourage this as analysts of Descendants of Zombies, which there are very few of because they can't make sense of the franchise, and it's pretty apparent to me that nobody can seem to make sense of a franchise that's captivated millions of people. What's so hard to understand about the concept of a girl falling in love with a zombie, or how people came from the Isle of the Lost to Oregon just to find acceptance in a world that they didn't feel accepted in at all to begin with? I think it's a very easy plot to understand, and people just are so oblivious to it because they don't want to understand it. And as far as I'm concerned, the reaction videos that are being uploaded are them watching Descendants for the very first time because they haven't watched it at all. So they don't understand what a daywalker, what a nightwalker is. Again, a pretty obvious concept. A vampire is a creature that exists in the nighttime. A daywalker is a vampire that can exist in the daytime. I mean, this has been a pretty obvious concept since the days of the Vampire Diaries, when they had to have special rings to exist in the daytime. I remember that concept and being quite intrigued by it. I fell in love with the story of the Vampire Diaries. I've had an appreciation for vampire TV for forever, dating all the way back to the original Dracula back in the 50s. And then, of course, the Vampire Diaries comes from out of nowhere with this beautiful story between the Salvatore brothers and their love for one girl. It was amazing how that story was brought to life. And I think then Twilight, of course, how crazy everybody was about that. I experienced that, and that was an era that I wish I could go back in time and live all over again. You know, there are so many eras that I was a part of that I wish I could experience all over again. The rise in popularity of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar, of course, Twilight, and how crazy everybody was about that by 2008. Then the Vampire Diaries came into the conversation in 2010, I believe, from 2010 to 2017, 7 seasons, so much action. I think one thing the Vampire Diaries should be credited for is just how much of an action-packed series that was and how unpredictable it was on times. I think that these shows will forever and always go down in history for being some of the most revered vampire TV shows of all time. And then, of course, then here comes Descendants of Zombies and captivates a whole new generation of fans. I have never felt so honored to be here to talk about Descendants of Zombies for you guys. I'm so proud to talk about my favorite stars like Ruby, who I can never seem to say enough nice things about. I think we can never say enough nice things about Ruby. I think Ruby deserves all the credit in the world for how she took a character that nobody knew anything about and gave her life, brought her to life, and showed us why the Queen of Hearts turned out the way she did. I mean, the young Queen of Hearts was so sweet, so innocent, and also exemplified how much of a profound impact bullying can have on a person's heart. You know, kindness can really go a long way in this lifetime. And I think that's the entire message of the Descendants franchise, no matter if you're talking about the original trilogy or this new cast. I think that the entire message of Descendants to begin with has always been kindness goes further in a world sometimes where you think kindness can never exist or never last. While it's been said, nothing lasts for forever, I really wish this moment in time could last for forever and we could talk about Descendants of Zombies for the rest of our lives. If I had it my way, I would sit in front of this microphone every day and talk about Descendants of Zombies for the rest of my life. That's why I've dedicated my life and given up my life to you guys, which I hope you're going to subscribe because I dedicate my life to uploading videos for you guys. I'm going to be investing in a lot of new equipment here coming up in the next couple of months because I want to bring this channel to life in a way that no other YouTube creator goes above and beyond to do. I know a lot of YouTube creators have the Descendants of Zombies merch as part of their backdrop, but that doesn't really tell me a whole lot about them. What I want to do is I want to establish a relationship between myself and my audience so that you understand where I'm coming from and I understand where you're coming from as a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because before you record a video about Descendants of Zombies, you have really got to think about the person watching your video and what they want to get the most out of from watching your video. So I think that there's a greater appreciation for talking about Descendants of Zombies. And if you show up on your YouTube channel with that pride and that passion for Descendants of Zombies and everything else that goes with it, I think that people will have a greater appreciation for you recording your video as you have for your audience. Because the thing is, in order to talk about Descendants of Zombies, you've got to watch it. And not just watch it once. You've got to watch it several times. If I haven't watched Descendants 100 times, I don't know how many times I've watched it. The Rise of Red was a production that I really loved. And what got me about the reviews of The Rise of Red were people were finding time and criticizing a movie they didn't know anything about. Within hours of a Descendants premiere, dating all the way back to July 31st, 2015, people were criticizing Descendants, criticizing Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson without even giving them a chance. And I think that the more of an opportunity we give to these stars, the brighter the stars are going to shine. I don't think the stars for Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker have shined any brighter than what they're shining now. And I have never been more proud to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies, to be sitting in this chair on Halloween talking to each and every one of you. I might be living my life out of fear of being TP'd and egged tonight, but I love being here with you guys. I love talking about your favorite stars, and I can talk about them time and time again because I think there are endless amounts of opportunities to create with these stars. Do I think that Bridget had more of a story to be told in this sentence? Sure I do. And I will forever keep the door more widely open than ever before for Ruby to return to reprise her role, because I really do believe there is so much more of a story for that character to share with us. There is so much more to experience with each individual character. The friendship between Ruby and Ella was looked at in Descendants of Rise of Red. It may have been looked at, but it was never looked at enough. And I think there's a greater appreciation to be shown when it comes to the spotlight on the friendship between Ruby and Ella, because Ella was Ruby's only friend. So I think that because Ruby had one friend in that franchise, there was more. There's a story. That's a movie in its own right when you really think about it. There are so many characters that you saw in The Life is Sweeter when you were a music video that could have a series based off Descendants and the story that's been told up to a certain point that the series could carry on from. I mean, how many adaptations of Merlin have we seen over the years? How many adaptations of Once Upon a Time and characters from The Little Mermaid and Sleeping Beauty have been told over and over again. So I think that if somebody's holding on to the belief that Descendants could last forever, I think that should be encouraged instead of shutting down our hopes and our dreams of something ever coming to be into fruition for Descendants of Zombies, because it's been my honor to be here to talk about Descendants of Zombies, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I can't honestly think about doing anything else, only doing Descendants of Zombies videos for each and every one of you. I've uploaded over 500 plus videos about Descendants of Zombies, and I have had no regrets since, because the love and support that I've received is truly outstanding to me. It is truly unbelievable to me how many people love Descendants of Zombies, and I didn't know how much of a fan you guys were of Descendants of Zombies. I didn't even know how popular this franchise was until one year on Halloween, about 15 years ago. Girls showed up at my door dressed up as their favorite Descendants characters, trying to get me to guess who they were. And since that fateful night, I've been on a laptop researching everything there was to know about Descendants of Zombies, your favorite stars, what they liked, what they didn't, and what they wanted to get the most out of life for having been lived. And I just supported it ever since. I've been a fan just like each and every one of you. And the exciting thing about Descendants of Zombies is I'm a fan. So the only thing I can do is offer you predictions on the direction that we may think, or I may think, the franchise is headed in. And we share in each other's predictions. Even if Zombies 5 doesn't happen for 5 years, it will give me 5 years to upload great Descendants of Zombies videos, which I plan on doing, yes, for the rest of my life. Because I think that there are so many people that don't showcase it for the greater appreciation that exists, because it will forever and always hold a special place in the hearts of Meg Donnelly, Freya Skye, Malachi Burton, Mila Manheim, because that was their defining moment. That was their breakout role. That was their time to shine. And I don't think nobody should ever take it away from them. When I see Meg Donnelly feeling as if she's not good enough on The Masked Singer and auditioning for roles like Supergirl, which was a very disrespectful role for Millie Alcock to obtain. Apparently there's going to be a Supergirl movie in July 2026. That's just a rumor, but apparently there's going to be a Supergirl movie with a greater emphasis on her, and that's why Meg Donnelly auditioned for the role, apparently. But I think that she needs to set her sights on some bigger aspirations, because in all honesty, that Supergirl portrayal from the live-action Superman movie this past summer, oh my God, did it ever let me down. I was heartbroken over it, and I've been a superhero fan all of my life. So I just want to put it out there that I think Meg Donnelly would have been a better Supergirl. She would have done it with so much respect, and I don't know, man. I don't know what Hollywood is thinking sometimes, and judging by some of the movies that are coming out, the only thing I'm looking forward to is either Wicked or SpongeBob SquarePants on December 19th. So we've got Wicked for Good coming out on November 21st, and SpongeBob SquarePants' latest movie on December 19th, the same day the new Avatar movie, Fire and Ash, will be released. And there have been so many variations of Avatar over the years, and don't even get me started on the Avatar video game. But I really believe that there are more opportunities for Kylie Control to be discussed, like a live-action Jasmine for the live-action Aladdin, or even Ariel. She could have been in the conversation to play Ariel in the live-action Little Mermaid, but that honor was given to Hailey Bailey. Again, it's kind of overshadowing, everything Kylie Control has yet to achieve in her lifetime, and not really giving Kylie Control much of a chance. I think that more of an appreciation needs to be shown for everything Kylie Control has given, because she's given up her life to entertain, to sing and dance, because that's all she's ever wanted to do. She grew up in a dance home, so she had the support undeniably of everybody around her, and will continue to have everybody's love and support for the foreseeable future, and that's exactly what I'm here to do. I'm here to solidify legacies of your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And there's no other way I'd want to spend the rest of my Halloween and the rest of my life than by sitting in front of this microphone recording videos for you guys on Descendants of Zombies, as I showcase our passion and talk about Descendants of Zombies so diligently, because I think that it's a never say die, never quit on your attitude coming from all Descendants of Zombies fans. And honestly, there is no other way I'd rather spend the rest of my life than by talking about Descendants of Zombies with each and every one of you. So what do you say we spend our Halloween with me uploading Descendants of Zombies videos for you guys all throughout today? And we'll talk about Freya Skye, we'll talk about Meg Donnelly, we'll talk about Kylie Control, and everything I see for the foreseeable future, because me not talking about their future would be me just be drawing a formidable conclusion. And I don't really want to have to draw a formidable conclusion. If anything, I want to talk about Descendants of Zombies 4, you guessed it, the rest of my life. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to think about doing that, because I have a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes for the foreseeable future, because there is a future undeniably for these two franchises. And I'm just excited to be a part of it with each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Again, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you are probably going to want to think about doing this in the final 25 seconds that I have, because this YouTube channel is here for you and has happened, was created because of each and every one of you, because we love Descendants of Zombies, and we undeniably have shared in this passion, this unbreakable bond that we formed that I only could wish could last for forever. Guys, thank you so much. If there was one moment I could freeze in time, it will be this one, to showcase our passions for Descendants of Zombies for an eternity. Guys, I love you guys so much. Keep on subscribing, keep on hitting the like button, and keep on sharing these videos, because your love and support is what makes this YouTube channel thrive. I love you guys so much. Happy Halloween to everybody. There will be a new podcast uploaded in just a few hours from now, so keep watching for that video to drop in my archives. Happy Halloween, everyone, as we talk about Descendants of Zombies for the rest of our lives.